Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Iggy Garcia Live. I'm Iggy Garcia. Want to welcome everybody to the show tonight. Hopefully you can sit around with us for an hour or so, kind of hang out and share your thoughts, share your feelings, your emotions. Today, my friend here, BlueHawks, is going to be with me, Lauren Stec. He's going to be sharing his knowledge, his wisdom with us, sharing his heart, his feelings, his emotions, and all the things that I've gotten to know about him. And he's going to share a little story about himself, and we're going to kind of just power around and talk and share, and hopefully he'll be nice to me on his journey, but we'll see how it goes. But like we do all of our shows, we start out by lighting an ancestral candle, giving thanks, a very shamanic practice from my country. So what we're going to do here is we're going to honor our ancestors, give thanks to everybody who laid the path for us, everybody who came before us, and the people who made it possible for us to be where we're at today. Give thanks to them, honor them, and ask for their prayers, ask for their blessings to protect us and guide us while we're on this journey of confusion and misunderstanding and self-discovery of ourselves and all the things that are possible. 2020 is one of those years that just turned into a weird Twilight episode for some people, but for me, it's been kind of a up and down roller coaster. And so I asked for mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpas, and everybody who worked hard to get me to this place, and my brothers and sisters to this place, a really big thanks and a really heartfelt love and emotion as I think about them as this flame burns as I'm doing this show. Also want to light some sage or some palo santo, either just kind of get the vibration and the feelings and get everything going in the right direction. Just feel that love, Mother Earth, just pouring all over us, honoring us, loving us, taking that smoke into our eyes so we can see the beautiful thing, taking that smoke into our ears so we can hear all the beautiful things, taking the smoke into our mouth so we can speak all the beautiful things, take the smoke into our eyes so we can see all the beautiful things, take the smoke into our body, into our spirit, into our soul, so we can be one with all the beautiful things in the universe. And may God surprise us. Oh. All right, I'm going to bring on BlueHawks. BlueHawks, welcome to Iggy Garcia Live.
It's good to be here, man.
It's good to be here. That's right.
It's always good to be here, especially family that have good hearts and good ideas.
Absolutely.
And it's great to be indigenous. It's great to be alive.
Yes.
And to share our love for our fellow man and the human beings and the animals. We have
Absolutely.
so much love and animals in general. It's one thing about animals is that sometimes we treat the animals as, I own that dog, I own that cat,
Mm-hmm.
I own that hamster.
Right.
But they don't understand. They're there. When you're upset, they come to you. When you're happy, they come to you. And they purr, they growl, they do a lot of things for us. And they heal us because we go through so much stuff right now. We're going through a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's great to be alive. It's great to have grandkids. It's great to have a wife and family and friends and mm-hmm. especially good food.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got that one right. You're probably like me. You probably cook at home, so I'm one of those people
yes,
who cook
I
at
do.
home too. All right.
My favorite dish is 7-layer lasagna.
Oh, my gosh.
And
you had to go there.
Also enchiladas. And I make my own tortillas. So, yeah, nice. My grandmother has taught me well.
Awesome. Hey, I know you. We've met each other a while back. So maybe why don't you tell our audience a little bit about who you are, and the kind of work you do, or where you've gone. And I know you've evolved into different directions in your journey, and maybe you can kind
Well,
of tell them where how we met.
it's met him at BMSC, not BMSC, ULE,
Yoli.
Universal Light Expo,
Mm-hmm.
in the Veterans Building. And you came up with your lovely wife. We sat down, and I told you a little bit about myself. By the time I was 10 years old, I had 2 comas in my life. By the time I was 12, I was shot left for dead. By the time I was 17, I was struck by lightning 8 times.
Wow.
I graduated from UCLA with a doctorate in clinical psychology because I had 8 sisters, and I needed that to learn. My father was a physicist. My mother was a microbiologist. I came from a brain family. The lightning did not give me my abilities. My grandfathers gave me my abilities, and my grandmothers, because they told me to shut up and listen. Listen more, talk less.
Right.
And the more I listened, the more I started having dreams, premonitions, and doing different quests in my life. I've been ran sweat lodges. I'm a pipe carrier. I honor what I do, and I honor other brothers. But if I had to sum it up, what I do and all the collective ideas that I believe in being a Taoist.
Okay.
A Taoist is one who believes all things, honor all things, and respects all things, and honors life to the best of his ability. And a Taiwanese man told me that one time, that you are Taoist. And I said, what? Huh? I thought he cussed me out. I went back and I studied it. I researched it.
Sure.
And I think it's very, it's belonging to something without having a title on it. Because we go through so many titles. But in my work, I do work with the medicine wheel, and I make medicine wheel blankets, and made a lot of them in Ohio, made a lot of them in Illinois, all over. And I've given some away as gifts. And I believe in that. That was my vision that I had when I did my vision quest in Arizona on the Painted Desert. Lost a lot of people in my life. Lost someone that was very dear to me. And I didn't want to face the elders. And in a native perspective, you have to be, you're responsible. The man's responsible for the woman. And whatever happens, you're responsible. How come you didn't do that? And I felt guiltified by that. And after that, I went up on the hill and spent 8 days recapping, cleansing myself, purifying myself of all of the fear and the guilt and the hurt. I'm still we're all in a stage of growing and attunement. So if it gets rough, just wait. There's a miracle just around the corner coming at us. I didn't believe angels existed because the native followed a lot of the native teachings, and the native teachings is that we believe they're messengers. And angel, another word for angel, is a messenger. So I adapted the angels. I started studying, understanding angels, and I had incorporated in the medicine wheel blanket that I make. The medicine wheel blanket is not in Native American. It is indigenous to the world because a lot of different places all over the world have their circles. If you fly over the even overseas, and they fly the plane at like 30,000 feet, you look down, there's circles all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go to Cahokia Mountains and outside St. Louis, there it's where the Mississippi people resided. There's a lot of heritage out there. And one thing I tell people, if you want to go to the reservation and you want to talk with the people, don't tell them you have an aunt that was a Cherokee princess. Okay, just go over there, just be yourself. They like the simpleness of a person's heart.
Mm-hmm.
And chances are, if you keep that simple, they'll bring you home and feed you a 10-course meal, and probably adopt you by that night because they are full of love.
Yeah.
You go down to Mexico, you go down to South America, the people, if you have a simple heart, they're going to, hey, Mom, look who I found. Come on in. He's Uncle so-and-so, and you're not even related to the family. And they're feeding you, clothing you, making sure you have the best meal, everything. That's a gift of love we all have.
Yes.
And then we go into society and it just totally burns us out because we have to have a timeout. That's why we have animals. That's why we have people that we connect with. Share. I'm rambling on. I'm shutting up. But
no, you're fine. Keep going. I love it.
The main thing is, I was very impressed with you when I met you. I was impressed with your wife because I knew that you were both together, even though there was things going on, and you became a unit, and you're growing, and you're stronger. And look what you have. You have grandchildren. You have sons and daughters. You have people that are wanting to be a part of you and learn from you. And they don't idolize you because sometimes you'll piss them off and they'll piss you off. But the main thing is, it's family, and it's simple. It's love. It's about the little ones. It's about the elders. It's about the young ones. And I'm really happy for the young ones because the young ones are very, very smart now. They're smarter than my generation or your generation. I mean, it's amazing. They can write a book in like 2 seconds on their phone,
Isn't that crazy?
But yeah, life is good. But in my work, I used to have big classes. I don't have big classes anymore. I like to teach on a one-to-one basis. I think that's missing out. When you have opportunity to learn from someone, I take the opportunity to teach on a one-to-one basis. It's very beneficial. I teach shamanism. I teach the pipe. I also teach the medicine wheel. I teach about how to connect with the visions and the premonitions that we have. And basically, by the time you are done and you follow what has to be done, you are going to be the person that you need to be. And one thing about it, I don't accept a lot of people. When they come to me and say, I want to do this, I want to do what you do. No, I know somebody down the road can probably talk to you. Because this is not, I got my certificate, I'm Shaman of the Month now. No, it doesn't work that way. And we have all gone through this. Have you heard so-and-so down here that does this? And he turns around and he's got 20, 30, 50 million people lining up to sign up for him. And then after 6 months, it's like crickets down that boulevard. Nobody's there.
Right.
And it's like there's people out there that like to have their ears itched. You know what I mean? Just be you. Be you.
I agree with you on that.
That's 100%, because here you are. And this is where the coyote comes in, because the coyote attacks you and I and others and they tell you, it's your ego actually tells you, well, what about this person? Their person really could have been your student, but he ran down there and you could have had this and this and this. No, I have a finger that I like to throw up, but I'm not going to. But the thing is, it's just staying in our space, enjoying our space, enjoying our family. That's the main thing. Go ahead and talk. I'll shut up now.
This is BlueHawks, for those of you who are just tuning in right now. He's a friend of mine. We met back, that was what, 15, 20 years ago, probably.
Oh my God, is that long?
It's long,
I'm 67 years old, my friend.
Yeah. Wow, it's been a while. I know it's been a long time. But anyhow.
You're 92, aren't you?
91. I'm not 90 yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I stumbled in his, every year I'd see him, just like when you go on ULE, you kind of just pop around, you see people. Some people your energy resonates with, and some people your energy doesn't. And I remember popping into your booth like the very first time. This is when we were a lot younger. We were a lot younger guys. And you popped in and, you didn't give me much attention. You're like, whatever. And then that was cool. Then next year we came back, and then you're like, sit down, I need to talk to you. And you sat me down and you gave me a book. You need to read this book. I'm like, okay. And my daughter, I think, got a book too. And then you let me have it that day. You're like, and then you said, and your name is Green Bear. That's your new name. And I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
You named me Green Bear. But my version of the story is very diluted compared to his version of the story. But yeah, he kind of just told me how I just needed to just continue on this path that I'm on, that he knew that I was struggling. He knew I was going through some things, and knowing that I was, fighting myself and fighting my own little personal battles and demons, which doesn't really stop. They just become very different, and they're not as prevalent, and they're not the main focus anymore. But yeah, that's how we met. And just intrigued by the work he did and fascinated by the work he did. And he really encourages me. He pops in on my podcasts and watches the shows and just gives a thumbs up. And he's like, hey, brother, I'm with you. And that's those little things like that are very intricate to what we're doing and very important to me. That's because you're one of our elders. You're my elder. I respect and honor you because you have laid the path, and you're also kind of pushing me and nudging me that way too. So I'm very thankful and grateful for that as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You mean a lot to me. Your whole family does. There's when I get on Facebook, I find that you've been on there and listening to some of the things. And sometimes I get out of there because Spirit says, he's doing all right. Leave him alone. So, and because I have other people that go in there too. We have a lot of good people that speak and share. I think Sammy mentioned something now on your Facebook because I got into it, and they said hello, so I say hello back. I had to do that where we were sharing.
No problem.
But the one thing, if a lot of you are listening to him, I trust this man with my life, and he has a good heart, and he's got good relatives that kick his ass if he does something stupid. Yeah. And he's got a good wife that will do the same thing. But he's got some good family. He's got really good family. His heart is always in a good place, and it's good to call him my brother because he's my brother from another mother.
That's right.
And my mother probably loved him more than my mother loves me. That's a good thing. That way I can stay in trouble. But
there you go.
The thing is, life, the Cherokee people, I told you this first time many years ago. The Cherokee people have a word. It's a very simple word. Ega ama tu. Everything starts with us. And we don't need to be fearful anymore. You're looking at Christian teaching. Christ got rid of that fear. You look at Hindu teaching, the gods took care of the fear. And you have to trust the inner soul of our heart, the inner link of our spirit, because the angels are going to help us. We're in a situation we can't handle. I mean, we go one room or next room and we can make fun of it. I'm flying to the dining room to have a French dinner. And then I'm going to go to the executive suite back 5,000 miles, which turns out to be your bedroom. You just, this is a time of imagination. I've talked to people all over this country. They're saying, I got to get out of this house. I'm tired of it. Why can't they do this and why can't they do that? This person said this and this and this. This is ridiculous. Relax. You're safe. You have people that can talk with you, share with you, love you. you have something that you can share with them, because we're all here together. Our DNA is changing. It's changing big time. And the thing is, I think they said it on the news. I think it's the 16th or the 17th. I'll have to check it out.
Okay.
You need to check it out. There's 7 planets that are going to be lined up this next couple of days.
Yeah, my watch is showing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, that's the process of our DNA changing. And the things that are going on, the things that are going to be required of us, is a very strong choice. We have to listen to what our choices tell us in here,
Right.
because we're not going to be the same generation like we have in the last couple of years. Things are not going to be the same, but the thing is, we're going to get through it. And multimedia, getting in on you, if you got an iPad, you can get it to FaceTime. If you got a Messenger on Facebook, you can get on a video. There's not a place that you can't have a camera and connection. Yeah. And the thing is, even though Izzy and I are not together, mentally, I'm hugging this guy. And you're going to be given a name tonight.
Okay. Well, there.
2 bears.
Okay. What's that?
2 bears.
2 bears. That's awesome. I was not expecting that, but hey.
That's your name, 2 bears.
2 bears. And explain why 2 bears.
2 bears is for the spirit realm.
Okay.
And the other bear is for the earth and Mother Earth, so she can keep an eye on you. Okay.
So that's beautiful.
That's a good place.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the bear is the most gentle animal. They give visions. They share. They talk. They do healing. When a mother bear hugs her cubs and the cub is not feeling too good, there's a healing going on in that child. So, there's more to come.
Okay. Well, that's a huge honor, and I'm very honored and blessed by that. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, you look like a 2 bear.
I better not show my profile here. It's funny that you say that, because my whole work has kind of evolved to Sky Father and Earth Mother. It's been kind of like reminding people that the mother's important and the father's important, and the 2 things work together to keep us
Yeah, if you can't, you got to get them all happy. If not, there are all kinds of things they can throw at us, but it's all good. But we're already there.
Yeah.
We're there where we need to be. It's now the others that are experiencing what we've experienced. Excuse me. We need to be consistent.
Yes, I agree.
And that's why you're doing what you do.
Yeah, right now we're watching Mother Earth give birth to all her beautiful children.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing thing to watch.
And businesses are going to get better, but they're going to do it in a different format.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just got to hold on tight. We got to help those who cannot be helped the best way we can.
I agree with that.
And Coyote, we got to get that fear out. If you have fear, if you have anxiety, if you have concerns, stop calling it in. Because I'd rather call in the big bad angels, that are helping us, to guide us, to direct us. Mother Earth, Father Sky, all those are the great mystery, however you want to put it. That's important. In spirituality, we have to establish our spirituality, and we have to follow our format. When I have students that come to me, I was in the Catholic faith, I was this, I was that. I said, no, don't throw it away. Don't throw it away, because it's part of who you are. It's where you come from.
That's right.
And allow your ancestors to work with you with that. Down in South America, it's very strong down there. It's very strong.
Well, it's part of it's incorporated in our medicine. The spirituality is incorporated. That's something that I also teach my students and people who've walked the path with me, that that's great that you were cow. It's great that you were this, because bring it along, because that's part of who you are. That's part of your
Yeah.
journey. It's like, you don't want to cut your hand off. I don't want to,
Might need a rabbi along the way. You stay where you're at.
Yeah, well, everything has purpose. There's a purpose, the higher purpose. Sometimes we don't understand until we're in that moment and when it comes out. And so to discount things and just say, hey, I'm not this anymore. I mean, I have countless stories. I'm just like you. I always tell people, I send them on a little quest, and if they want to work with me and you want to come back, good, it was meant to be. If not, then you need to go explore.
Write your book.
Yeah.
I told you that 20 years ago.
I know. I keep putting it off. I don't know why, but it's time to write. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
And the thing is, put down the stories about your mom, your dad, your family, your heritage.
Yes.
And how you got to be where you're at. A lot of people would honor that.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, that's confirmation right there from Spirit, coming from you as an elder.
Well, you knew it was coming. You just oh, he's coming on. Oh, he's just going to tell me something I shouldn't hear. Yeah.
I love this guy.
Laughter is the best medicine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we can look for food, we can look for love, but the main thing is, when it comes to it, when we're doing our ceremonies and when we're doing our understandings, that's what makes it count, 100%. And here's a thought.
What's that?
This is what I tell everybody when I start in my class, my shaman class. I said, do you know about ceremony? Do you know how ceremony works? And they're racking their brain. They're going through their little computer that what a book said here or a book said there. Right. And I chuckle. I listen. I said, when you get up in the morning, what do? Go to the bathroom. What else do you do? Get coffee. What else do you do? Let the dog out. That's ceremony. You've adapted yourself to do that. And the more you allow yourself to go with the flow of life, and you start meditating in your soul and your spirit, the stronger you're going to get. And the more wisdom and understanding you're going to get. A lot of people want to apologize all the time to help you through the ceremony aspect. If you did something wrong, look at it as wisdom to help someone else not to do what you did.
That's awesome.
And we have to learn to forgive ourselves occasionally, once a week, look at the mirror and say, you know what? I want to lighten up on you today. Because our ego wants to come in and say, no, you didn't do this right. You didn't do that right. Why did you do this? How come you did this? No, we just got to keep right here in our heart. Because the thing is, 1989, they found 7 things in your heart that does the thinking better than the brain does.
Yeah, the brain thinking.
Yeah.
Heart and brain.
So the heart knows if we can adapt our brain to our heart, which a lot of us have, a lot of us are working on it. I'm working on that every day. We're going to be in the right place. And the crystal that's in our forehead up here, remember that crystal? That's in tune. The more we get in tune, the more we become vessels, the stronger we are going to be. You're never going to know what you're going to do in a ceremony until it happens.
This is very true.
Black Elk Speaks. Read that book.
He's good book.
It's called The Healing Kid. He didn't know what to do. He used what he was taught, and he used what came to him, and the kid was healed. Healing comes within.
Absolutely. Yeah. All healing is self-healing, right? Like they say.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So anybody, go ahead.
So I was going to ask you.
So
what do you think about all this stuff? What do you think about all this energy that we're running through right now?
I've heard a lot of people say a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's affecting them. They're highly in tune for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are getting their butts kicked. A lot of them are getting a lot of blessings. A lot of them are getting a lot of visions. A lot of them getting, and this is it's been doing that since I remember when I was born, back in '53. It's happening now. It's happened every day. Once a person gets in tune with their heart and realize that there's something bigger and stronger than ourselves, that's when we start getting inspiration. That's when we start getting the visions and the premonitions and all the things, because we're all programmed a different way. So yeah, there's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. It depends on where the person is for themselves. It doesn't mean that they can't get where we're at, because I don't want anybody to be where I'm at. I don't want you to be where I'm at, because if you are, let's say you jump to my space and I jump to yours, it's going to be a disaster because it's trained in the way it needs to be. It's like telling a pine tree to be an oak and an oak to be a maple. It doesn't work that way. The Creator likes a variety of many beautiful things. Mother loves that. Mother always loves a good garden. Grandmother Moon loves wisdom and understanding. She watches over her children at night.
Mm-hmm.
So it works for different things. Do I see it working for people? Yes. There's some that will take it and run with it, and some will say, okay, I'll put it on the back burner.
Right.
And we have several types of people that believe certain things. Do I blame them? No. Do I get mad at them? Yeah, I do, because I get mad at myself. But it's not my school. It's their school.
Right.
And if they're going to get punished by the principal, that's fine. But if they're getting blessed by the cook in the cafeteria, great, get that big piece of pie. Come on.
Yeah. Good point.
Life is something to enjoy and have fun.
Absolutely. Like before I started the show, I was like full of emotion. I was just crying. I was just like, what the heck is that? I was just like, and then I turn on my phone, and then all of a sudden my friend is doing her yoga class. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do a little yoga. Maybe that'll relax me. And it did relax me. And I had my feet up on the wall there, and I got stuck. I got stuck on the floor. I couldn't move. I had to move my leg. And it was funny because, I haven't do much yoga, but it was really good because it was a nice change to shift that energy around a little bit and kind of do something out of character. Because right now I've been personally working on my spiritual, emotional, especially my physical part of my body, to bring it in alignment a little bit with whatever my spiritual part is. Because my spiritual part feels like it's all out here, but I feel like the housing isn't holding the energy properly sometimes. But I feel a lot better. I'm getting in better shape. I'm not necessarily losing weight or anything, but I'm toning my body and trying to get all aspects of myself in a better alignment. And it's kind of like a renaissance for me. I've been kind of in the silence a little bit. You think that I would be more apt to go out and do things, but no, but I've actually been in a little bit of the silence and listening. I keep getting messages from, my personal ancestors, sending me messages and talking to me, and meditation. I find myself in meditation, and I find myself dreaming dreaming all kinds of stuff. The dream time is very powerful for me right now.
If you rock back and forth a little bit while you're standing,
okay,
that will keep your alignment. As a matter of fact, when you go get your aura picture done, you won't be red, green, or purple anymore. You'll be white and violet.
There you go.
It keeps your energy aligned. We learned that at Edgar Casey Foundation. It really helps. And I can't emphasize enough, people need to not be so fearful of things. For example, I'll give you an example. Mercury's in retrograde. Watch out.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
I've seen Mercury for many, many years. It probably knows me more than I know it. And it doesn't allow me. I don't fear it. I don't affect it. It doesn't affect me. Mm-hmm. A lot of planets don't affect me like the astrologers say. And that's fine. If you don't let something affect you and you stand in where you need to stand for yourself, that's the key. Then that's not going to affect you. You'll have the blessings that you need. You'll have the money that you need. You'll have the clothes that you need. You'll have the food that you need. And right now, Mother Earth is calling on everybody to learn to love each other.
That I agree 100% with that statement that you just said, that Mother Earth is calling on all of us, and on all of us, not just individual, people. Everybody's been called now to participate on this. There's no escaping it. There's no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, no, we're all, my friend, Krista, who's watching the show, I had put, this is a great awakening. And, and then I said it was a rude awakening. She said, what's the great awakening? The great rude awakening. And so I'm thinking, when I thought about that, going, okay, that makes sense, because, this is going to be a really rude awakening for a lot of people. They're going to be like, what was that? What's that all about? What's going on? I think for a lot of people that I've been running into, I run into two categories of people. Some people are like, oh yeah, I'm more into this energy. And other people are like, I don't know what this energy is. Oh my God, what am I doing? Who am I? What did I live like this? How can I live like that? Why did I live like this? I'm running into all this really interesting energies. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have or not, but
I have. And I like getting woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning and the energy's flying by. Yeah, I'm an old folk kind of guy. I like my sleep. And it's interesting that they are amused by that and they wake myself up. And they're loving, they're caring, but they also just love to see me get a little riled sometimes. But the energies itself, it is amazing. It's our planet is not in the same place it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Our energies are stronger now. Children are stronger. The lifeline of people is getting longer. So you asked me earlier, what does this all mean? It means our DNA. It means our future. It means our future generations, our future relatives that are going to go before us. There's always going to be an evolving process all the way through. Mm-hmm. Things that you used to do, you don't do anymore. You're doing things that are in alignment with helping someone else. And if you watch a child, when they're born, they start playing and they throw the cat around, the dog around, whatever. And then another person comes in there, and a young child, same age, and the child wants that person's toy. So that child is learning about jealousy, learning about anger, learning about getting mad and frustration. But as that child grows in his life, he takes that with him. But then he learns that a certain aspect, as long as he's listening, he's not angry anymore. He's not frustrated anymore. He's not, doing destructive things anymore. The people that don't listen are the ones that are having the same railroad. It's interesting. Coyote is the one that repeats the bad that has been in your life. Mm-hmm. And when I explain that, let me explain.
Please.
The coyote, we give coyote medicine to people that keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. In Hawaii, the coyote is the one that brought the islands of Hawaii together.
Okay.
Also brought the fire together.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until I went over to Hawaii that I learned that. But the coyote can be a trickster, and the trickster is our ego.
Okay.
There's the coyote right here. So the coyote, we have to fight that coyote, because that coyote say, well, look at them. Well,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing that for? How come you're doing this for? And where we're alone, that coyote is howling. It wants to put us in a space that we really don't want to do. But as long as we're silent and we hold on to Mother Earth and Father Sky and the directions, those are important things. Then we can be focused and we can continue our journey in a good way, I think. So life is, if Spirit takes me in the next 30 years, I want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to come back because I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
As I look at it now, I had a lot of fun. A lot of ceremonies I went when I was in Window Rock and all the other places I went to. I'll tell you what, if you ask me now, would I do it again? Yes. If you asked me 10 years ago, I would say, hell no.
Okay.
But the thing is, I am where I need to be.
Right.
And I'm not going to tell someone, okay, this is what you have to do to get where I'm at. Everyone has their own path that they have to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you concentrate, the more you empty yourself, the more you can go through a sweat lodge. Or if you can't go, a lot of people medically can't go through a sweat lodge. But if you go, there's other ceremonies that you can go through. But the bottom line is understanding what your vision is, because everybody's wanting to know, okay, what's my vision? And lo and behold, I hate to say this, but people have this idea of Archangel's here, he's got the big book, and my name's in it, and this is my vision. No, it doesn't work that way. Because the thing is, you have an idea, and the idea comes, and then the Spirit works with you.
Right.
And then when you get to the point where, this is mine, then he brings in people that says, it's not yours. It belongs to everybody.
That's right.
It's about everybody. Everyone is equal. So there's a lot of different emotional things that we go through, but our vision is the most important thing. And people can be happy doing what they're doing. And as you're happy, more information will come to us.
8 billion visions, man.
Yeah. And they keep coming, because when I did my vision quest, I did several of them. The information back then is not as powerful as today, because it's like they put a SIM card in my head, and it gets revolved when that comes out.
Right.
So I'm excited about the new generation that's coming out. I'm excited about what's coming in your direction, because it's wonderful.
Well, this new generation, you hit it on the nail. I on my last show, I talked a little bit about the Star Wars. Star Wars. How the old Jedis had to learn the old-fashioned way. They had to have a teacher, and they had to learn. I mean, all Jedis have teachers, but the old way had to be like all these steps. And then all of a sudden, these kids are born who are like, they're force sensitive. They have this stuff just comes to them naturally, and they don't even know how it happens, but it just happens. And then they just need a teacher to kind of help them harness it and bring it into play so they can use it in a proper way. And then the teacher's like, damn, man, I wish I had that when I was there. But it wasn't their time. It wasn't their moment. Is these new kids are able to handle this energy in a way that probably you and I weren't able to at one time. But they also need guidance and teachers, and they understand that. But the cool thing about it is when they start to become teachers, what's that evolution going to look like? What's that going to be like? Because that's going to be really powerful too. It's
interesting as this different generations, you'll find this too. A lot of my colleagues, because one of the things I like to do is travel a person back to their past life. And you're going to find kids, your great grandkids, when they're born, they're going to come up and say, hey, granddaddy, guess what? I know how I came here. I know how I died. I know what happened. Because the veil is, the more we travel in the universe, the more the veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And the energy is getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I really believe that. Sammy, who's on here, had mentioned that we're getting downloads. That energy is coming to us, and
we're all got SIM cards.
Yeah, and the question is, the human mind and the human body can't. There's some things you just can't explain. There's just science can't explain it. But there's so much coming in. So what happens with that excess stuff? What happens with the old stuff? Does it just push it out of the way? Is it just put into another category or folder? I mean, it's because it's really fascinates me.
It's interesting because our brain is, Einstein said on many occasions, because I had the opportunity to look at some of the things he wrote, the one thing that he talks about, the brain is never ending.
Okay.
And it's like a big giant supercomputer, my understanding of it, because that memory, even though you may not remember it, it's not relevant for the time where you're at. But when it is relevant, it will come straight through.
Yeah.
Smells, seeing different places, even past life things. When you go in there, I've never been here before, it happens. Yeah. So our brain is very strong. And there, you have children now that are using about 20% of their brain. And, I'm a baby boomer and we only use 10% of our brain. So you can tell us how stupid we are now. But the main thing is it's growing. The veil is getting thinner. The more generations are getting very stronger. I mean, the young kids, the centennials, the young ones, they're more open to reasoning and understanding. They're more... they have a lot of visions. They have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, they're in tuned,
Yeah, they are going to be the leaders. And when they have their kids, man, I'm probably not going to be around when that happens. Probably will. I hope so. Because
well, you're coming back, remember?
Yeah, they're going to be. Yeah, I got to. May come back like one of them, and I'll be even smarter than I am now.
There you go.
But life is so important, man. You work all day long. You work for whatever you're doing, whatever work you do, and the best time is when you lay down with your partner at night, and the dog's away, and the cat's away, the kids are down, and then you can say, this is the best part of the day, because you're with someone that you love, you care about. And that's a feeling that you can never let go of, because you're stronger. You appreciate your partner. You appreciate the things. The more we work with our wives, the more we work with our partners, the stronger the relationship gets. And blessings to you and your whole family, brother.
Yeah, I've got 4 grandkids now.
Yeah.
2 blondes and 2 brunettes.
You'll have more.
Boy, girl. I'm probably knowing those guys.
I'm gonna see it now. You and your wife will be taken to Disney World.
If it reopens, right?
You can do that for us. Sorry, you snooze, you lose. Here we go. It's all good.
So what do you see? I know you've mentioned about the kids and stuff, but how do you see us moving forward here in the next 6 months? What would be your caution, or what would be your advice per se for people?
Well, the only thing I would say is practice distancing, practice having gloves until this gets out. It's going to be a while. I'd say by 2020, middle of 2021, it's going to take to get a lot of things together. I don't think some parts of the country, I believe, can open up. Some that are in highly populated areas, it's going to be very hard. I think a lot of companies could probably go into effect, but a lot of these factory jobs, they line everybody up next to each other, and that's not they would have to expand this distancing, and they have to practice taking care of themselves. I'd say by all said and done, by the end of next year, the end of next year.
So you're talking about 2021.
Yeah, 21, closer into 22.
Okay. Wow.
We'll be pretty well cleared out. In the beginning, it'll be a lot more freedom in a lot of things. But the thing is, this virus is attacking a lot of people, and I think that I really don't have a strong opinion on that. But I'm with Spirit right now. I just we'll see what happens day by day. I would say by next year, we'll be able to do a lot of things that we can't do right now. Okay. But the thing is, we have to practice being simplistic. We have to be thinking about our family and getting businesses to operate in a format that people are not hurt.
Very good.
And pay women and a little bit more money. And I believe that through politicians, I think they need to get the Latino and the natives and all our brothers and sisters to let them have what they deserve. And that is full citizenship as American citizens, because I think they've been through a lot.
Yeah, everybody, there's just so much happening right now. I mean, even though we're locked away in our little homes and stuff, there's just a lot happening right now that there's going to be so many stories. I called it a renaissance of sorts. It's going to be like a renaissance in a way. Like
that's exactly what's going on.
You're going to see a lot of amazing things come from this: paintings, drawings, medical, all kinds of stuff are going to develop from this. Things, technology, all kinds of cool things are going to evolve out of this time where we have time to, just be in our own personal space, our own silence. And I've seen some really cool stuff, since.
One thing I do is I get up in the morning, have my coffee, and I get out before the sun rises. At night, before I go to bed, I get outside. I got to have a connection for the first sun. I got to have a connection for the first stars that I see. I've been that way all my life. And I think that has made me connect more with the universe and with everything that's going on. I don't know a lot of things, but I do know about personal vision and personal ideas and personal how to be a good human being.
And that's important. That's very important.
I love you, bro.
I love you too. And I appreciate you being here and sharing your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions. And I'm glad that you decided to come on, because I haven't seen your face in a while. I always see it in pictures and stuff. But and you shaved your beard off.
Yeah.
So it's gone.
I couldn't. My wife wanted it a certain way. I said, no, I tried that, didn't work. And then I did one mustache all the way down. I looked like
a biker.
Hick, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
That's funny.
It's fun. It's all good. It's all good. And I'm hoping that we can get together. I'll be at Victory Light in November.
All right.
And Victor is doing really good.
Good.
He's a good friend of mine. We've taken groups out to Sedona. And I'd like to take a group down to South America.
Yeah, we go to Peru.
Everything's going.
Go to Peru when things clear up a little bit.
Let's do it because
go down there and
there's
see
a lot
the
of
sacred
good
side.
places that a lot of people haven't seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
So,
have a mess down there.
oh
Everybody,
man,
oh, we lost BlueHawks.
yeah.
Ziggy.
Where's Blue House? Where's Two
Yeah,
Bears?
yeah. It's
Be
all
funny.
good. So, anything else you want me to say or anything? I think
No,
everything.
I
Yeah,
think we said pretty much. Unless there's something you want to leave people with, something you want to.
yeah, I do, and
Okay.
that is blessings to all of you. Just be patient with yourself. Love your partner. Love your animals. And when it's all right sometimes to be afraid, but remember this: you always got the angels, you got Mother Earth, you got Father Sky, you got
Mhm.
all the tree people, you got the relatives in the clouds, you got all of them. They love you, they care about you, and you're going to be blessed. And there are miracles coming. Just believe, believe, and always say good words. Never say bad words. The whole.
Awesome. Oh, brother.
Take care, man.
Thank you, Blue Hawks.
That's it.
Thanks for coming on, and I appreciate you.
All right.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
You take
Love you,
care.
man.
See you.
Bye bye.
All right. Well, everybody, that was my friend Blue Hawks, and he goes by Lawrence Stec. If those of you want to look him up on Facebook, he is actually a really good friend of mine. We've come to get to know each other over time. You know, he was one of my first mentor teacher, and you can kind of see some of the things that I do that he does, and some of the ways we approach things. So I take a little bit from everybody, a little bit, and everybody takes a little bit from me. We share the knowledge and we pass it along, and we try to do it in a way that's very loving and very very powerful and very profound for ourselves and for others. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you enjoyed meeting my friend. I'm going to bring other friends on too that that I have a connection with that you've never met. Some of you have never met before. So I hope that you guys get to see these people and meet these people, because it explains a lot about my story and who I am and how I evolved and developed into the human being that I am today, compared to the human being that maybe my family knows or who my relatives know. Much different person now than I used to be. Not that I was bad or mean or anything. It was in here, I was in my ego mind, and I was led by Coyote and different things like that. And, I have to fight Coyote off just like everybody else does. Got to go through those things. But Blue Hawks has been a good friend, and he's a good person who pushes me to keep going. And when I'm not feeling it, he's like there to remind me that, you got to share, because there's someone who needs to hear the message from Spirit, the message from Mother Earth. And so for him, being in my life is very important. And so I give him a lot of credit, a lot of kudos for helping me on my journey. So I want to give a deep bow to him, to Blue Hawks. I want to thank him. I also want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight, everybody who was here and able to take a moment. I know there's a lot of things at 8 o'clock at night that you could be doing. And during quarantine time, you could be watching another podcast. You could be watching Netflix or whatever. But thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me. Plus, I also want to thank my friends who support me in the work that I do, in the drum circles and in the classes and all the things that I do, because it's a very important part of the why I do what I do, because I like to see the joy in people's hearts. I like to see them evolve into a better version of themselves. And sometimes they just need somebody to just push them a little bit. And, I'm that guy, and, sometimes I need a little pushing, and you guys push me too. So that's what's really good. That's the cool thing about the work we do. Nobody is above anybody. We're just ahead in certain roads and certain turns and twists. Other than that, that's about it. Basically, everybody's a teacher. Everybody's here to teach one another. We're learning from each other, and we're embracing these different things, and we're sharing them together. Can you do the work I do? Absolutely, yeah. Some of you are already doing it, don't even know it. Okay. Will you surpass me? I hope so. That's the goal. You just keep going. Are the younger people more advanced? Maybe. Who knows? The point is that we share Sky Father, Earth Mother's message, Spirit, the universe, and everything. Share our animal totems, share our heart, our spirit, and our soul with one another. And then we do the right thing. And we try to be the best versions of ourselves every day. And like Blue Hawk says, What is ceremony? Well, we wake up in the morning, we give thanks, we get off the bed, we turn around, we face the sky, we look out the window, we make our coffee, we go to the bathroom, whatever you do, however you do it, that's your ceremony. And it's the ceremony. It's first ceremony. First ceremony is listening. And what are you listening to? You're listening to your heart, your spirit, and your soul. You're listening to what you need to do to move you into the direction you need to be. And first ceremony is very powerful, and it's very different for everybody. It's a very spiritual and a very positive thing for each and every one. All right, so that's about it. Tomorrow we have a drum circle, a virtual drum circle. That'll be at 8:00 on the timeline here on the Facebook. And then also, I want to tell everybody, just do your best you can. Ho'oponopono. It's good to be here. Matakuyasin, aho, and namaste, and all the things that line you and put you in the right frame of mind. I wish you all a good night, pleasant dreams, and I'm really proud and very excited about my new spiritual name, Two Bears. That's pretty powerful. Thank you, BlueHawks, for that. And I will see everybody tomorrow. And if not, I will see you Friday. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.